Hi, it's Tom. In today's video, we're going to change the steering rack on a Chevy Cobalt. First thing you want to do is get the front of the car jacked up and properly supported. And after that, the next thing you want to do is take off these tie rod end adjusting nuts and then unbolt the nut for the tie rod, and then take your ends off and count the number of turns as you take the tie rod end off and note it down for each side. Next, you want to take the steering intermediate shaft loose, which is a 13 millimeter. Take the bolt all the way out and then see if you can tap the intermediate shaft off where it goes onto the steering rack. In our case, we had to cut the shaft that came off of the steering rack right where it went into the intermediate shaft due to the parts being rusted together. We also had to support the engine and take all of the bolts loose out of the engine mount in order to make room for the steering shaft to get through. Next, there's two 18 millimeter bolts holding the rack on. Once you get those off, the rack should be able to come out. We also had to take the stabilizer off on the driver's side to get enough clearance to get things in and out. Reinstallation is just the opposite steps of removal, and just make sure when you put everything back together that you get your tie rod ends back on the same number of turns as when they came off. I'll leave torque specs in the comments, and I'll also leave some links to the tools we used.